Good afternoon YouTube and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm going to be testing my enduro bike out on dirt jumps because I honestly believe that these enduro bikes can be ridden absolutely anywhere. It's going to be challenging because there's a lot of suspension. We're no other place in the secret trails. You've all seen this place before. There's no better place to do this experiment. So for now I'm going to go find a dirt jump takeoff and explain to you why it's going to be hard riding here with all this suspension. These trails are designed specifically for BMX's 24-inch jump bike, like hardtail jump bikes, and 26-inch hardtail jump bikes. They're not normally ridden on full suspension bikes. The reason for that is because compared to your lips that you have in your bike park, these are vertical. Look at how steep this is. And what happens when you've got a ramp that's got that much curve in it, your suspension compresses and makes the lip unpredictable, which means it can fire you in all sorts of directions, which obviously you do not want to happen. The other thing is the landings are equally as steep, and to get through the jumps you're not supposed to pedal. They require a lot of pump, and obviously with full suspension you lose a lot of pump, so it's very difficult to carry speed. That's what we're going to be testing out today. How well do these beasts actually handle on these kind of jumps? There's a small line over there which I'm going to go and warm up on and see how the bike feels. This line is quite small, but it's perfect to start this experiment on. Oh my god, come on. Woo. That is interesting to say the least. It's quite hard work on this bike, you know. It's a big bike to be throwing around on these steep little jumps, and to carry the speed is really hard. You've got to work really hard, which is interesting because on a hardtail I've ridden these jumps for years, so it's interesting that just changing the bike can change the feel of the trail by so much. But that hip down there is so good. What I'm going to do is get the GoPro 240 frames per second, slow motion. Despite it being a lot of work and the bike being heavy to throw around, I'm really stoked with how that just worked. So I've decided I'm going to move on to the bigger line, which is to the right. Lips are slightly steeper, landings are steeper. It's going to be harder to carry speed because I'm going to lose more pump through the suspension, but it should be good fun. It's going to present a good challenge. So let's switch to the GoPro and hit that line. Also, in the middle of that line there's a dirt spine which you'd find in the skate park, so that's going to be an interesting feature. Let's have it. Oh my god. Oh. That was so hard. Let's go back to the top. Yes. Oh! Almost. Let's do it again. Oh! Oh my god. I lost so much speed in there. Whew. That was really scary. Oh my god. Like that was really close to dying as it goes. Whew. Oh my god, man. Let's give that another go because it can work. It's just tight. That bad boy, the spine, not easy on this bike. Yeah! Oh yeah! Alright now. Contrasting feelings about that line, because on my dirt jump bike, that line is my absolute favourite here because it's technical, but when you get it right it's so good. On the enduro bike it's so much hard work. I think because it's got that technical aspect, it's making it so difficult with the suspension. As you could see, that was a real struggle, but I'm going to give the cameraman the GoPro and he is going to film a slow motion on the dirt spine, because that's epic. It's unheard of, I think, on enduro bikes. My bike doesn't even know what a spine is, so this is all new. Now that I'm stoked that the bike's working on these steep, tight jumps, I'm going to bring out some tricks. I'm going to do a suicide no-hander on this jump right here. Behind me is the big berm line. This is a relatively new feature here. It was built in the summer, and on my hardtail jump bike it works the absolute dream. It feels so good. I'm hoping I get a similar feeling on this bike, but it might not, because at the top there's some challenging features. There's a few rollers, little step down, and then obviously into the big berm. So let's go give it a go and see what it's all about. I've actually moved the roll in. It used to be all the way back there, so all the little rollers are gone, but that's not a problem. We're just going to start from here, so let's get on with it. This is the culprit that just took me out, and this is the first hurdle that riding these trails I've properly stumbled on. It's quite tall, it's quite a big step up. Look, the lip's down there, and it's hard because I landed quite sideways. I didn't carry enough speed. I'm going to do it again because I need redemption. I can't leave it on that. It's a shame because that was a nice, majestic little edit until that point. Yes! Oh! Once again, another little case. That's so hard to make it up that. Let's try it one more time. Yes. This line is my favourite because it's like a big roller coaster. Check it out. Woo! Sick! That step up was the first challenge that we came to, which I actually really struggled on this bike. Like I say, the others are difficult, but you can do it. That was really hard to make it up it. It's really tall. Anyway, we're moving the session on. And this jump behind me is middle of the pack. It's not a trick jump by any means, but it's the best jump here for doing tricks on. So I've not really done any today, so I'm gonna have a little session, do a few tricks. Gonna start off old school. Actually no, I'm gonna start off by just riding it, then start off with an old school one. Woo! That works good, that jump. I'm gonna do a old school trick like promised, and it's gonna be a no-footer one-hander. Oh my god! The bike dropped away from me, and then I grabbed a hand for the front brake. That was sketchy. Let's never do that again. Next I'm going to do a no-footed can, and I'm not hitting that one by the way because with doing a trick I'm never going to make up the step up. Oh yeah! That worked a treat, didn't it? It's getting dark, so we're going to have to wrap the video up there, which is a shame because I was having such a blast riding this bike on these trails. I really wanted to do a backflip on that trick jump, but it was running a bit slow. It's quite hard to clear, I think, anyway, on the jump bike to flip. So this was always going to be a challenge, but I think if I sent it, I would have landed 50-50 or in the middle of the gap. So unfortunately, that is not going to happen, people. The question that I asked at the beginning of the video was, can dirt jumps be ridden on an enduro bike? And my answer after today is 100% yes. I've had such a good time testing this bike out over these jumps. I've ridden here a lot in the past on my jump bike and I'm very familiar with all the lines. So to ride it on this bike presented a new challenge. They all felt so different and I really had to adapt my riding to make this bike work, which has been great fun. To you guys, I would recommend that if you've got a hardtail or a jump bike, then take that to the dirt jumps because it's going to work better, it's more practical, it's what it's made for. But if you only have an enduro bike, then 100% get yourself to some dirt jumps, because you can have so much fun. You can have such an epic time. Leave in the comments what you thought of this video. Give us a thumbs up if you want to see more enduro bikes at the dirt jumps, and I will see you guys in the next video.